Hello and welcome back to RC Model Reviews. Today I'm going to take a look at this. It's the Blackview little high definition digital camera, and I saw this one advertised after the problems I had with my Xiaomi and the fact that it wasn't focused and I had to pull it apart and refocus it, and that Banggood just weren't interested in doing anything about it. They wouldn't even send me a free mini HDMI lead so I could plug it into my television set and refocus it. Just were not interested. So a black mark for Banggood on customer support. Other people seem to have had better support, but you know, if you're spending not a small amount of money on a camera, you expect to get some support. And certainly in the case of this one, that's also a problem, because I got this one, it was sent to me for free. I've got to say, it was sent to me for free to review, but unfortunately it doesn't work. And the reason I chose this one, let's go look at the positives for a minute here. The reason I chose this camera was because it has an LCD on the back, which is great, because I'm not a smartphone guy. I showed you in a previous video, I'm not really a smartphone guy. I don't want to be farting around with a smartphone when I'm trying to record stuff on my video camera, my HD camera, or even changing modes, because on the Xiaomi, you can't even change video modes without getting your damn phone out or your tablet. So I thought this would be great, because on the back, if I turn it on, you'll see, where are we? You'll see that it has a screen which has a, there we go, did you see that? A nice, look, a flash car, isn't that wonderful? And then there we've got everything here, and there's a menu involved here, if I can bring it up, if I remember how to do it. There we go, see there's menus and all sorts of stuff that enable you to race around and change things. You know, it's all handy because I can change things on the fly, and that is really, really handy. But, well, it would be if it worked, okay? It would be if it worked. I'm going to show you what's wrong with this camera, the problem I've had right from the get-go. See if I can go back to, here we go, go back to there. Right now, I'll just turn it off first, and I'll show you what I've done here. Let's turn it off so it says goodbye. Same car, different tune. Okay, here we go. Now, in this camera, I have a 16 gigabyte Samsung Class 10 card. You know, these are good cards. I use them in all my HD cameras. It was blank when I put it in, and I've used it in other cameras, reformatted it, put it in here. Now, first of all, I put it in straight out of the box, and it said card protected. I couldn't format it. So I tried it out, thought it might have been a faulty card. No, it wasn't a faulty card. So I put it in another camera, worked fine. Deleted the files, put it back in here. I'll show you what happens when I try and record stuff on this camera. Right, let's turn it on and see what happens. It's that lovely car again, isn't that beautiful? Right, try and get it so that I'm not getting too much reflections of light in the place here. Right, so here we go. The camera is, oops, it's hard to do this. I better just adjust my viewfinder on the camera so that's a bit better now. I can see what I'm doing. So there we go. Now the record button is on the top, and I'm going to press the record button, and card protected. Doesn't matter what I do, I can't format a card, I've tried several cards, I tried Lexar, I've tried SanDisk, I've tried all sorts of cards. Doesn't matter what I put in here, it just doesn't want to know about it. It just says card protected, card protected. So I can't record anything, I can't do anything with this camera. It's, bit of a bugger really. If I'd actually spent my own money on it, I'd be really, really annoyed at this, because it's not a cheap camera. I think it was $130, the list price for this camera, which, given the features, if they worked, would be quite good. But so I thought, well, what are these like? I mean, I can't actually video anything with it. I can't show it to you. Now, Ali Shanmao has done a review of these. I'll put a link to Ali Shanmao's review. He actually reviewed these alongside the Xiaomi and the GoPro to give you an idea of how they work. His one did work, fortunately. But one of the other reasons, I'll show you just one of the other reasons why I bought this camera. First of all, why I chose this camera is because, not being a Wi-Fi guy, I love the fact that it came with this. This is a little Wi-Fi, little thing that says, welcome. How nice. And if I press this button on, I think it's on the top, to give this a long hold, I think it goes to, there we go. Now you can see, I'll hold this here, you can see now that the camera, I can frame everything through here, and I can access the menus through these buttons. So it's like a mini Wi-Fi terminal. I don't have to use my smartphone. It means you can put this on your wrist. It's designed for action camera sport. Put it on your wrist. So if you've got the camera on your head, you can frame up nicely and get everything sighted up. It's great. Good idea, wonderful idea. Would have made this a really great camera, except for the fact that one of the problems is this screen is so small you can't make out the icons on here. And of course, I can't record. It just doesn't work. There is a record button on here. If I press that, what happens? Is it recording? Can't tell. Or is it, which button is it? See, the buttons have little indentations, but I can't read them. Excuse me while I go out of shot for a moment and find the right button. Yeah, that's supposed to be the record button. And if I press it, nothing happens. There's just nothing. Doesn't record, nothing. That changes the mode apparently, but no. So it just doesn't work. It's buggered. It's useless. So let's rip the guts out of it. Let's just see. I mean, if it is faulty like this out of the box, is it just because it's badly made? Are they going to be more like this? And the other thing that was very interesting was when in Ali Shanmao's review, he said it had very muted audio. And in fact, listening to the audio, it was crap. The sound on this thing was awful. Now, it does appear to have, where did I see it? Or maybe it doesn't. Yeah, there's a little hole here, which might be for the speaker, I'm not sure. And there's 3 little holes here, might be for the microphone, I don't know. Let's pull it apart and see how well this thing's been put together and see if it really is just my bad luck or whether this is just a bad product. But before we do that, I'm going to show you the first indication that this was probably not a well-designed product was when I found this. Where are we? I'll just bang this. Just won't do it now. Oh, there you go, see? Bang, turned off. Something wrong, loose inside. And I found out what it was. If I take the battery cover off and I go like so, the battery comes out. The battery is just such a loose fit in here and the connector's not making good contact. Now that not the reason that it's not recording onto the card though. I mean, that's not causing the problem, but here we go. It's got one of these fairly standard sort of batteries here. And they connect in there, but really, I mean, even when you look at the little battery catch, it looks like it's a bit of a bodge if you ask me. This goes in this way, sorry, excuse me while I get this sorted out. I mean, look at the fit along here. Look at the fit. Ali Shanmao notices too. It's like it's, what's going on? It's just the build quality is a bit crappy, to be honest, and it's not that rigid. But let's pull it apart, see if there are better things inside. Now, it comes apart fairly easily, which would probably be a worry if you're putting it on a model, because I could imagine a decent prang causing the front panel to come off, which, not what you want. There we go. Now, the first thing I noticed, actually, I think this must have been something, this is designed for something else, and they've rebodged, because, see, we've got this, looks like an infrared port on the front here, but there's nothing here to correspond, nothing lines up with it. So why is there an infrared port when there's no corresponding sensor or anything inside? It's like the case was designed for something else, maybe. And let's look, there's our little speaker in the side there, right? That's fine. The microphone, let's see if we can find the microphone. Now I'm going to have to pull out the guts of this. Oh, there's the screwdrivers here. I'll just have to get my screwdrivers and undo some screws first. Right, so I've undone these 4 screws in the corners. And you see this bit's down here, this has been molded for something else that doesn't go in there. So this seems to be a little bit of a, repurposed plastic, so which doesn't give you a great deal of confidence if they're basically using plastic that was designed for something else. Get these screws out of the way, very small screws they are. And now I've got to try and prise this out of here, which shouldn't be too hard. Here we go, it's coming out. It'll probably be connected by a flex cable to the rear LCD, and indeed it is. Right, so there we go. There's a flexible cable in there. You can see that yellowy cable there, possibly down in there. This one down here, that's a cable that connects the rear LCD to the main board. The thing I want to look for is that microphone, because where is it? Why have we got such crappy sound? There it is. Look, here is the microphone, just on this edge here. See that? It's a tiny little condenser microphone. And if we look, the holes are here, but really they're not going to do much. This is sort of, the microphone's kind of buried in the bowels of the camera. That's not very good design at all. That's pretty crap, actually. I'm not that impressed with that. What else have we got here? Let's try and get a better look at stuff. I don't really want to take the flat flex off if I can avoid it. So I'll spin this around a bit. And, oh, look at this. Look at these boards here. If you look at the angle of these boards, I mean, this is pretty bodge. They're not parallel. And, oh, look at this. They're not even anchored properly. So a decent bang's really going to knock this board around quite a bit. It's, yeah, I'm not impressed with that, to be honest. This is pretty backyard, if you ask me. Not an impressive piece of kit at all. There's the antenna for the RF unit, the wristwatch unit. That's just stuck on a piece of foam rubber here, and it's crooked. So yeah, it's no wonder the damn thing doesn't work. Build quality, that's got to be a 3 out of 10. I'm not impressed. Not impressed. So I can understand now why the damn thing didn't work. I can understand why the audio is so crappy with this little microphone in the bowels here. And look at all this wiring. This is, hand done wiring like this is really not the best. Normally you'd use a flat flex like these, the flat flex for the LCD. These cables are really good. You know, they can be custom designed really easily to do a job. And hand wiring like this, yeah, not so good, not so good, especially in a high vibration environment, because, you know, these are action cameras. And if you put them on a gas-powered model, or if you put them on a motorbike or something, then it's only a matter of time before these wires fray, because there's no reinforcement. They're just soldered straight to the circuit board. There's no strain relief. Yeah, I got to say, you know, is it worth 130 something bucks? No way. No way is it worth 130 something bucks. I would not buy this camera. Even if it worked. It's just not good enough. You know, there's so many cameras out there in this sector of the market now, in the action camera market. You've got the SJ4000, you've got the Xiaomi, you've got this little wrist thing here. That would have been a great idea. Where are we? Great idea, but you know, it's no good if the camera doesn't work, or if the camera's going to break because it's so poorly constructed and so poorly designed that the audio is just never going to be useful. Yeah, not impressed. So I'd have to say the Blackview, this is the Hero 1 or something, I think it was the RF version anyway, wouldn't bother. Spend your money on something that's better quality, that's better build, better design, and that might work out of the box. Okay, a few other things I should mention. First of all, this camera came in this box. Look at the state of this box. Look, the plastic is shattered here and here. The box is ripped. I was quite surprised when I received this camera from GearBest. GearBest sent it to me for review, no charge, because when the courier turned up at the door, he had a DHL bag, and the bag rattled. Because what normally happens with these cases, I mean, these are the retail display case, right? You've got that picture of the camera there, you've got the accessories, you've got the all the nice specifications on the side, and you know, so hey, it makes it easy to sell it because the camera normally sits inside here in its waterproof case clipped into the top of this box, so you know, people can see the camera and all the stuff. Just stick it on the shelf, it sells itself. That's the theory anyway. So I was surprised that when GearBest sent it, they didn't actually put anything around it, protection or anything. It's not designed to be transported around the world like this. It's a retail showcase. There should have been some bubble wrap or a cardboard box with some bubble wrap or something, but just a DHL envelope. It's no wonder that when it arrived, this was askew and the camera had been rattling around in there for goodness knows how long. And I guess in that respect, that probably contributed to the fact that the camera didn't work. Having said that, of course, we've seen inside that the camera is not well built. So although it says on the box here, I mean, let's face it, look at this. Apparently you can ski with it, you can ride motocross with it, you can jump out of airplanes on a snowboard with it, or tandem, it's an action camera. It's designed to take knocks and bangs. Well, it should be designed to take knocks and bangs, but the reality is it's not. It's so badly designed and the build quality is so poor that obviously the shock of traveling a few thousand miles around the world in its display retail case was too much for it. I would expect more from an action camera. So although GearBest really need to revisit their packing and shipping, I mean, this is unacceptable. I would not buy a camera from GearBest at the moment until I can be sure that they're actually packing the damn things properly and not just throwing them out the door in a DHL bag, because odds are you'll get a dud too, or it'll be smashed or something will happen. So GearBest need to reassure us that they are packing the thing properly, and so we're going to receive it in one piece, because one of the problems is that this doesn't work right now. If I'd bought this, if I'd paid money for this, what would I do right now? I don't think that GearBest would send me a new one unless I sent this back or something. But shipping, they'd want all the original gear. Shipping, I mean, it's a $130 camera. And from New Zealand anyway, it's going to cost me, with track and trace, probably about 40 or 50 bucks to send that back. And then if I get a replacement, it's turned into a $200 camera. God, I should have just gone and bought a GoPro. So yeah, GearBest have to realise that if they're going to sell this stuff and they're going to get a good reputation and they're going to make money out of it, they've got to make sure it arrives in working condition, not like this. Thank you for watching. If you've got questions, comments, then please leave them in the space below this video, kindly provided by YouTube, and I'll do my best to answer them. If you've got one of these cameras and you like it or you don't like it, then tell us, because this is just one unit, just one sample, although obviously I don't think the others will be any different inside, and Ali Shanmao's one did work, but not very well. So there you go. That's why you watch RC Model Reviews, because even when I get free stuff, if it's crap, I'll tell you. Thanks for watching. Time for me now to put this back together and get back to the bench. Bye for now.